there, I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent Training. Welcome to our Saturday live question and answer class. Please feel free to put your questions in the chat at any time, and I'll go through those and answer them for you. In the start today, I want to talk about two words which sound the same but have different meaning, and that's the words morning and morning. So we have in this mourning, so this is grieving or mourning the dead. We have a different spelling. The letters O-U-R just say the or sound, and we have first syllable stress. So we have morning, morning, and it's the same as morning, the time of day. So if you are struggling or wondering how to pronounce this type of morning and you already know how to pronounce morning, that's great. The sounds in morning, as I said, first syllable stress, we have the or diphthong, and then watch out for that ing, morning, that it just has an ing sound at the end with the back of the tongue lifted. When you can say morning by itself, do try practicing in some short phrases. So we're mourning the loss of the queen. This morning it was very hot and sunny. I am mourning this morning. Thank you for this request, and of course you can leave your requests for this class in the comments. I will cover those now. We'll also look at some recent requests that came in for our word of the day if we have time for that as well. Okay, we have a question about the word purpose. So for purpose, we have first syllable stress, and letters UR say the sound. We do spell with ER, IR, UR. So in purpose or turn, it's spelled with UR. It's a stressed so you might see it in the dictionary like that. Purpose. Or some dictionaries will write it with a schwa and an R. But just know that it's the kind of root basic sound. So I would think about it like and then for the pus syllable, even though this looks like the word pose with an O and an E, if I had it by itself, this O would say pose because of the E, but it doesn't follow our typical rule for a silent E at the end. It has a schwa, pus, or you might say it with an I sound as well, pis. Basically, you want to go as quickly as you can from the P to this sound. Purpose, purpose. So the purpose of this meeting, the purpose of the video. Lots of length on very short on the second syllable. Yeah, that's a good word. Thank you for that request. Okay, and you also asked about the word hair bun. So normally, if we were talking about a bun, we would probably just say bun. She has a bun in her hair. Hair bun doesn't seem like a common combination of how we would say it, but if you were to say hair bun, you want the air diphthong, and for two-word combinations like this where there's two nouns together, we tend to stress on the first one, hair bun. She wore a bun in her hair. She had a hair bun today. Okay, great. And we have a question about the word issue. So this has first syllable stress. The double S in this word says the SH sound, the sh sound. So we see issue. Issue. So there's an issue with this. You can say issue, and then you have a y sound. Issue. Yeah, we don't have a y sound in American English. In British English, they may say issue with a s and a y sound, issue. American English, issue. First syllable stress, short on the shoe. I do have a video about tissue, which goes into a little more detail, and it has the same sounds, just plus a t sound. After class, I'll put a link for that in the comments and in the description. You can go check that out and get a little more detail on that word issue and tissue. Thank you for that request. We have a question about where we stress in pairs, such as give or take, hustle and bustle, take it or leave it. Typically, I'll stress on the second one of those. I think we usually say give and take, not give or take. So give and take, give and take. There needs to be some give and take here. There is a little stress on the first part, but it's not give and take, give and take. So that's secondary stress and primary stress, or hustle and bustle. The stress of the word still holds, so hustle and bustle, hustle and bustle. I would say in this, yeah, maybe the main stress is on bustle, but we still have some stress on the of hustle as well. And notice how when I said give and take, hustle and bustle, that I'm not saying give and, or hustle and bustle, hustle and bustle. So we kind of link that N, hustle and bustle. We drop the vowel and the D sound in the and. Take it or leave it, take it or leave it. Same thing. Take it still has the same stress of take it or leave it. With the main stress overall, take it or leave it, being here on leave. So secondary stress on take. And take it or leave it. Again, we tend to reduce this to just an take it or leave it, or an instead of an or, not take it or leave it, take it or leave it. Yeah, that's a good observation and good question about those types of phrases. I haven't covered that before in my intonation classes, so thank you for that request, and that might be something that we could look into in more detail in another separate video. Okay, we have a question about minimal pairs and phonology. So I do have a great deal of videos and coverage of minimal pairs because it can be really useful for people. So I do have some videos, for example, with R versus L, like rain versus lane, and T versus D, like wit, or T versus TH, wit versus with, T versus D, like to and do. I usually cover these in the context of the different sounds. So if you look at our Sounds of English course on speechmodification.com, it's going to walk you through all the sounds and use minimal pairs to be helpful for you. You can also see quite a few videos here on YouTube for minimal pairs. So if there's specifics that you're asking about, let me know and I can cover that a little bit today. I can also direct you to some of those resources. For many people, they're very helpful if they have an accent pattern where they're substituting one sound for another. Another series that I talk about is W versus V, like wet versus vet, because many language backgrounds have the W and V sounds are too close together and they aren't separated from each other, so using minimal pairs can be helpful there as well. Okay, so kind of a general question you had. If there's something more specific you'd like me to cover, just let me know. Thank you for bringing that up. We have a question about the stress in agate and agnate, and Hellenic and Hellenistic. So agate, and I'm not sure about agnate, if it's agnate or agnate. That's not a word that I use typically. Agate, I think, is first syllable stress with the a vowel. And agnate or agnate, I'll have to look those up, but I don't have my dictionary handy. I do have a dictionary handy. Let me just look real quick. So agnate. So I usually use online dictionaries, but I also keep a dictionary nearby because they're a wonderful tool. So when I look at agnate, AGA, agnostic, it has it's first syllable stress, agnate. So yeah, same as agate. Let's look up agate. Here's on the same page. Yeah, agate has first syllable stress. And then for Hellenic and Hellenistic, they do follow patterns where istic, like characteristic, often is stressed. Longer words are often stressed on the second to last syllable. So for Hellenic, stressed here, and Hellenistic, dick, stressed here. So that's not 100% pattern, but second to last syllable is a good guess if you have to guess. And then, of course, being able to look up words in the dictionary like I just did and look for the marker, the stress marker. I do talk about this. I have a number of lessons about syllable stress and understanding how it works, how to find the syllable stress of any word in our American Accent 6-week course. It talks to you about the basics of intonation and gets into a little more detail because, of course, the rhythm of words is just as important as the sounds in the words for correct pronunciation. Thank you for that question and request. Okay. We have a question about the phrase seven dwarves and question about whether any of the consonants in dwarfs, I think it's actually dwarves. Is it dwarfs or dwarves? Not sure. Dwarfs. If it's dwarfs, then dwarfs. We can't leave any consonants out here. It's kind of hard, and then dwarves would be a v and a z sound. The seven dwarves, seven dwarfs. So it depends. Whichever word is correct, you either need the fs or the vs at the end. And dwa, dwarf, dwa. You have to say both consonant sounds. If you have to say dwarf, for example, you might want to just build from war, wharf, dwarf, to be able to get those consonants. Kind of starting from the root of the word and building out is usually a helpful technique in these words that have a lot of consonants together. And those can definitely be challenging. Okay. We have a question about literally, anxiety, and audio. So literally, in American English, in British English, literally, in American English, literally, we tend to say literally, first syllable stress, literally. This T is a flap, literally. And I do have a video about literally that I can put a link for you to go into more detail on it, but basically sometimes rewriting it and respelling it can be helpful in understanding that. Then you also asked about anxiety. It's another one I have a word of the day video for. After class, I can put a link in the description and comments for you. Anxiety is stressed on the xi syllable, ang. The N says the NG sound, so thinking about it like ang, like an angle or hanger, ang, and then the Z, the X says a Z sound, anxi. We have the I diphthong, so thinking about that like I, itty, and again, here our T is a flap because it's between two vowels, not followed by a stressed syllable, so anxiety. And then lastly, audio. The AU says the ah vowel. We have spelled that with AW in words like saw or law. Audio. First syllable stress. Audio. Yeah, good combination of words there. Thank you for that request. Nice to see so many of you here today, and thank you for your comments, liking, sharing, watching our daily videos, and of course attending this live class each week. We do also offer channel memberships, so if that's something that you're interested in, we have a second weekly class that's a live class, and channel members can make their requests at any time throughout the week on any video, and I cover them for them on Sundays. So we'll be having that class tomorrow for our channel members. You have time to check out that and join if you're interested. Just click the join button and you can see what other perks we offer for our channel members. Okay, we have a question about oregano. So for oregano, we stress on the reg syllable, oregano, which means our O becomes more of a schwa. Oregano. So thinking about it like oregano. Yeah, the herb oregano. Great. Okay, thanks so much for a wonderful class today, for being here, and I look forward to seeing you again in tomorrow's Word of the Day class, as well as next Saturday we'll meet again at the same time for our live class. Feel free, if you're watching this not live, to leave comments and requests. I'll follow up with those comments and give you resources on our channel, as well as on our website, speechmodification.com, where you can find our online courses. All of our online courses are either free or available for under $2, so they're a really good resource to help you build a strong foundation to pronounce any word you want confidently in American English, and also build skills for your American accent if that's something you're interested in. Thanks for being a part of class today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye, everyone. Thank you for a great class.